Sex is often attributed to useful properties that it doesn't have and neglect the effect that it actually gives. Sexual practice will not replace aerobics or make your body to be in shape or burn a lot of calories. And it's unlikely to straighten the immune system, but still, apart from pleasure, sex can bring real benefits. Sex reduces the stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, instead, endorphins, natural analogs of opiates that calm you down and improve your mood, fill your bloodstream. Research has shown regular sex for 2 weeks leads to lower blood pressure, which is one of the clear indicators of low stress levels. There is even evidence that sex helps restore neurons in hippocampus, an area of the brain that's particularly sensitive to stress. But that's in rats. Sex doesn't just make you feel pleasantly tired, but according to research, it actually works as a natural sleeping pill. It's probably because during sex, two important hormones emerge, oxytocin and prolactin. The first suppresses the production of stress, and the second one helps you relax. Reduce the risk of heart attack is also one of the benefits of having sex. Contrary to stereotypes, sex is not dangerous, it's good for your heart. In a long-term study, shown that 1,000 men aged 40 to 70 years old found that regular sex 2 or 3 times a week reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease by 45%. So you got the idea. Now, why we don't have sex as we used to have, or why we don't have that sex that we want to with our long-term relationship partner. Hi, my name is Romenska. I'm certified life coach, and today I would like to tell you reasons why we don't have a sex as we used to have and what to do to boost our sexual life. A lot of hungry men and women are out there wanting sex, but once they are married, after a few years, other things become more important and sex is overlooked. The primary reason for this loss of interest is that men feel rejected and women don't feel romanced and understood in relationship. A woman doesn't instinctively realizes how sensitive a man is when she isn't in the mood for sex. And man doesn't instinctively realize how much a woman needs romance and good communication to open up and feel in the mood. For men not to feel rejected, couples need to create free, positive, and easy communication about sex. When a man repeatedly gets the message and truly believes that his partner loves sex with him, his sexual desires can remain healthy and strong. When a woman feels a man is skilled in sex and he supports her in relationship, her sexual desire can remain fresh. Good communication and loving support in relationship, however, are most important for a woman. For a man, a good relationship is certainly important, but many times what it makes a big difference is his sexual success with her. And here's what I want to emphasize, which I never heard from any other coaches. Sex starts with romance. Sex starts with a dance. It takes two to tango. It's not even psychology, it's a biology. So in order for most of you to change your sexual life, the fetch begins with men. And I know it might sound a little sexist, but in animal kingdom, it's male who tries to conquer a female. It's male who shows how beautiful and bright and colorful feathers he has. He shows the moves for dancing for her, to attract her. A man brings flowers and pours lavishly compliments onto his woman. That's how she feels desirable, loved, and appreciated, and she wants to give back with her sexual desires. I'm not talking though about initiating sex. Don't confuse those two, because initiation of sex is very desirable and appreciated by men as well. But we are talking about how to wake up the desire in a woman, because for sex you need kind of two people, right? Your mantra should be use it or you lose it. And that's where romance should kick in. Midweek date night between you and your partner where you get out and romanticize one another a bit. Talk about yourself, each other, and interesting issues. Not a leaky roof, not who is sick, problems with kids or money concerns. We tend to see each other at the end of the day in our sweats or our nightgowns or in our pajamas, none of which is very sexy. Getting dressed up and going out is like courting and romance all over again. Second, allocation. There is something wonderful about having sex in a kitchen, in a parking lot, having sex in public places or elsewhere, but not in the same bedroom that you used to be. Third is communication. Without authentic communication, relationships tend to die. So one of the things that you need to do is to communicate about frequency, about quality of sex, not as blames, not as talking about I want you, I need this from you, I don't receive this from you, but to be open enough and to start talking from I messages. I feel, I need, it feels like, not you. Most people don't realize that the brain is the biggest sex organ. Romance comes from the brain. Sex becomes the most less hormone driven and more desire driven. Desire starts in the brain, and that's physiological. If the brain kicks in, the heart pumps. When the heart pumps, the genitals engorge and intercourse can flow. Better thinking, better sex. Many people get stuck in their 20-something image and don't realize that they have to change their attitude. If you think sexy, you are sexy. And I'm talking about a lot of women who are not happy with their bodies changing over time after giving a birth or just being in their 40s or 50s, and they don't feel comfortable with themselves, and it really reflects on sex. Once you relax and start accepting your body with all your flaws, that will bring more joy in your bedroom. And it's the same about men. For example, if we're talking about couples after 50s, women go through menopause. So they get a physiological as well as psychological wake-up call. They know that their body has changed and they have to do something to keep their juices flowing. Men go through metamorph. Their hormones or their genital equipment change dramatically. Men in our society still don't really talk to each other about feelings or physiological changes. Men get a little more pear-shaped. They develop breasts. They don't say, Houston, we have a problem. So that's a natural thing, and there is nothing to be ashamed of or to be embarrassed of. Here is the thing that a lot of people are frightened by getting old, being aged, and they feel like now my life is over because my sexual performance is not as great as when I was in my 20s. But once you change your attitude, your brain, your positive attitude will reflect on your sexual life. If you feel old, then sex becomes as a hard job to perform. If you feel you're full of life, then sex becomes just like a joy. Next is to share your sexual desires. This recommendation is based on extensive research by sexuality expert and host of popular blog Sex and Psychology, Justin Lemire. He carefully studied the sexual fantasies of more than 4,000 Americans from different age groups and drew two important conclusions. First, is inability to fulfill one's fantasies is one of the main reasons of sexual passivity. Second, is more often difficult to discuss one's sexual desires with your partner is because of morality and trust. Many are afraid that their partner might use such confessions against them. But what kind of relationship we really have if we're not really capable of sharing our fantasies and desires with a partner that we love the most and we're building our life with? We need to open up. But here comes the warning. Emphasize on one important issue here. I want to try to do this with you. I don't fantasize about something in general. I want to do this with you as you turn me on. Because we all want to feel desirable and chosen. Sharing fantasies, however, leads us to one dangerous road. sharing your fantasy about threesome, especially guys who offer this to their partners who are not even bisexual, because of course we're talking about 2 women and 1 man. And here is why. What you're saying to her is, you are not enough. Your vagina isn't enough. I want a special edition to our performances, and you don't mean it. That's how it's translated in her head. Now, you can say, how can I get honest with her if you are telling me that this is forbidden fruit? Yes, we are talking about sacred place where only 2 participants are involved, not somebody else. You can fantasize and say it out loud. I am fantasizing about having sex in public toilet, parking lot, using a swing, new sex toys for my prostate. I want to record our sex session. I want to try role games. A lot of things that come in your mind can be put out there as your fantasies and not an offer, but it's important to share those fantasies. Now, what I do not recommend to do, especially for desperate couples who are on edge to break up, is lifestylers. Lifestyles, and just for guys who don't know what it is, it's swingers. It's couples who invite other people in their bedroom. Now, lifestyles advocates, and some, and not all, believe me, I made my research, secular psychologists will tell you that couples that partner swap and participate in various other swinging activities are healthier emotionally, and they actually involve less cheating. This is not true. It's only because their partners have essentially legalized adultery. I can decrease crime statistics by making a lot of legal things, and it doesn't mean that I should. They cite a lack of jealousy as the case in point of emotional health. In reality, these partners have found an easy way to ignite a sexual thrill without putting in emotional work required to maintain a healthy, vibrant, and monogamous sexual relationship with only one married partner. They will cite many things, such as greater emotional maturity in order to be able to handle your partner having sex with other people. This, however, discounts the greater emotional maturity that requires to stay faithful to a single married partner with whom you build a life with. And also, it involves less emotional connection and attachment to your partner when you are okay that somebody else is touching him or her. And the attachment theory and avoidant type, it's the one who usually likes to be lifestyler. The world will tell you that it's the only way to spice up your relationship is inviting somebody else in the bedroom. But I'll tell you that it's a lie. The only thing isn't telling you about is it's just to be lazy, to procrastinate, to really put an effort in spicing up sexual life with just one partner. Do not abuse porn. It can cause you to develop a tolerance for dopamine. Sex scenes available just with one click of a mouse habituate the brain to increase doses of pleasure hormone, which acts on it the same way that drugs or alcohol do. A study that's shown porn lovers requires more and more intense sexual stimulation over time. 60% of men who regularly watch porn are unable to achieve an erection with a partner, and giving up porn act, it becomes like detoxification of your inability to perform in sex. In addition to hormonal and physical dysfunctions, which require seeing a specialist, our sex drive has another nemesis: stress. One of the most effective tools to fight against it is meditation. Next one, get enough sleep. Lack of sleep reduces the quality of sex life. It only because of significant amount of testosterone is produced while we sleep. And this hormone is necessary to maintain sexual desire, not only for men, but also for women. In addition, due to chronic lack of sleep, the bedroom soon turns into a place that you associate with the desire to pass out rather than get aroused. And one more thing. At least half an hour before going to sleep, turn off TV, phone, and tablet. According to studies, bright light inhibits the production of the sleep hormone melatonin almost twice as much. Next one, have slow sex. Aiming for orgasm turns sex into a race. in which the main thing is to reach the finish line. The three main principles of slow sex: focus on the process, focus on pleasure, and free improvisation. Imagine that sex is a couple of dance that you perform in slow motion. To stay at a comfortable place and truly in sync with your partner, follow the rhythm of his or her breathing. Slow sex doesn't mean you are trying to avoid orgasm. It just becomes an equal part of the act rather than the climax. Next one, nuts. Spanish psychologists made a study where males of age 18-35 years old included 60 grams of nuts, a mixture of walnuts, hazelnuts, and almonds, in their daily diet. Then they compared the results with the testimony of their peers who did without solid aphrodisiacs. It turns out that guys from the first group had a marked increased sexual desire and the orgasm became brighter. The researchers could not explain what exactly the power of nut is. The results of blood tests showed significant changes in composition. But in reality, is it that important? The main thing is that it works, right? Next one, have sex more often. Any kind, slow, fast, with or without ejaculation. You may not want sex just because you don't have enough. The biological mechanism for this paradox is the more you have sex, the more you want. The less you have sex, the less you want. Next one is bicycle. Turn out that men who rode a bike an average 10 hours a week at a speed 25-26 kilometers per hour were about 22% less likely to experience problems with the erections like peers who didn't ride the bike. However, there is no point of making it as a race. It's enough just to be consistent in your biking routine. Next one is focus on the breath. A rare person thinks about how he inhales and exhales, especially during sex, when thoughts are occupied by others. But the bottom line is that many of us, in the heart of passion, hold our breath quick and shallowly, and this reduces the severity of sensations and the quality of orgasm. So, if you breathe deeply and you sink in with your partner, sexual energy will flow through your body and flow between you, strengthening the emotional connection. In order for sex to continue to delight and excite, we must diversify our intimate life. Monotony, boredom, and predictability are one of the main reasons why partners eventually stop making love. So finally, stop making excuses and take action. We find excuses why we can't eat healthy or exercise. Every day I hear from my clients those excuses that they come up with why they don't want to deal with their sexual problems. If the desire is gone, you can justify yourself by saying that you don't feel sexy, tired, or you're not in the mood. As a result, nothing really changes and nothing happening. Start small and gradually move on. A strong desire will not arise immediately. Take small steps every day to feel sexy again. Set a goal. For example, today I will try to feel absolutely 100% comfortable with my own body. I will not shy away showing my body to my partner. I will feel comfortable with who I am, with all my imperfections, because my partner accepts me with who I am. He loves me how I am, and so I love myself as well. And guys, I wish you the best sexual life. Thank you for watching.